Right. Welcome to Comadres y Comics. Comadres y Comics is a podcast hosted by three Latino women. We highlight the Latinx presence in the comic book industry as creators, characters, and fans. Join us as we talk chisme, comics, fandom, and beer. Hello, welcome to a new episode of Comadres y Comics. This is episode 254. We're your host. I'm Sarah. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Welcome back, ladies. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Doing good. I'm kind of sleepy. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, not on purpose, but my alarm was set for 4, so I was like, I might as well stay up. But it was when I got home after my run, I was very sleepy and tired. But you know how they say, take a nap, you'll feel better. It never makes me feel better. So
I was telling Kristen earlier that I basically spent all of yesterday sleeping and most of today sleeping as well because I've been working nonstop for the past 8-9 days. So, you know.
good Lord. I know. So does that mean 8-9 days nonstop of getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning?
It would be better if it was consistent, but no. It's been like some days I open, some days I close, some days I have a mid shift. So it's just they've been
Okay.
like, am I being punished right now for deciding to go on a little 4-day trip? This is ass.
You know, I always wondered about that. I always wondered why, like in retail or whatever, why don't they just keep the morning crew, and the night crew, instead of putting you in the morning, in the middle, and in the end, like rotating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we did it at Heidi Ho. You got your schedule, and that was your schedule every week, month in, month out. At Jeffrey's, when I took it over, they would do a whole new schedule from scratch every month. I'm like, why? Why do we do this? You just tell me what days you can work, and that should be the same days you can work month after month. Obviously, with some exceptions, because you have special occasions that or a day off or whatever, but then you get your shift cover. So, yeah, I agree. When I worked retail too, my schedule was always changing. I'm like, why is it so inconsistent? I need consistency in my life.
Yeah, same. And I needed to. I'm supposed to have a set schedule because of the bids and the union and stuff like that. But it's never consistent because people call out or they need or people are like me going on vacation, stuff like that. But it's like I would like to have a consistent schedule, like my set days. And right now my schedule's all over the place and that just makes me exhausted and I really hate it. And then I confuse my days and my hours.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm 2 hours late to a shift or I'm appear on a day when I'm not supposed to be there. And then I'm like, fuck.
Oh, it's the worst.
It is the worst because I'm freaking out that I'm being late, but I wasn't even supposed to be there. I was just like, man, this sucks. Give me a set schedule.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
How do you...
I think it's time to find a new job, you guys.
Yeah, it's those really weird, like 4 a.m. shifts. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
But I also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have other more exciting news. Oh, it was Kristen's birthday. What?
Yes. Happy late birthday, Christine.
Thank you. Well, this morning I celebrated my run group. We ran 7 miles. I told everyone it's going to be my birthday run. So people showed up and we ran 7 miles. Then we went to Barney's Beanery and I had 2 beers and then one of my big old, they're like 32 ounces. So I had 64 ounces. Then one of my friends had a beer and they were like, oh, my eyes were bigger than my stomach. He's like, but I'm ready. I need to go to the Apple Store. I'm like, well, you can go to the Apple Store. I'm going to stay here and finish your beer. So I had that one. And then he's not the owner. He's the manager. Gave us free tequila shots. He likes giving us tequila shots at 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. So it was fun and I had a little buzz going. But I think that probably contributed too for me coming home and just being so tired after getting up so early. And I was home by 1 o'clock, not even 1, I think 12:30 maybe, but Oh, I partied all morning and then I came home. That's how you do it when you turn 53rd.
There it is.
Woo!
What did you do on your actual birthday?
So one of my favorite restaurants is the Spaghetti Factory. So
Yeah,
we
that's
went
good.
to the Spaghetti Factory, which is in Fullerton. And since we were there in Fullerton, we visited the comic book shop, Heroes something or other. I can't remember what it's called that I work at, that I help out at every Monday. How come I can never remember what's called? Hero something or other. Sorry.
Incredible.
I would remember if there was actually signage on the outside.
Oh, really? Wow.
Heroes University. Anyway, it's in Fullerton and right next. So, we went to go see a movie because I'd been wanting to see Sinners. But it had been gone for so long and it happened to still be on the screen there at that theater. And the movie theater is literally right next door to the comic shop. So I went to the comics shop, walked around a little bit, then we went there. Oh, and we had so much time between lunch and the movie that I found a Bath and Body Shop and went and finally shopped at the semi-annual sale and bought a whole bunch of wallflowers for the bathroom little scent thing that I have on the wall. And then I said, you know what I want to do? I feel like going to the red car and having a beer. So it was kind of already later, around 8 o'clock. Oh, and we had ice cream. We went to go get ice cream after the movies. And then after that, I went to the red car and I had a shandy, but it wasn't very good. The person making it didn't make it right. So that was a disappointment. But then we ate dinner and then we came home and that was it.
That sounds cool.
It was a good day.
Yeah, you had a good time.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So anyway, guys, if you haven't said happy birthday to Kristen, be sure to, you can either leave a message on Spotify, you can contact us on any streaming platform. No, that's not right. You can social media stuff like Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. So,
Yes.
happy birthday, Kristen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she has a Cash App and Venmo.
And she'll take a request for feed pic. I'm just kidding about that one. Don't ask her about that.
No, but I am going to start to sell my stinky chonies.
Yes.
Incredible.
I figure I have a niche. Like, I run and you do not want to be anywhere near my chonies when I run afterwards, but I think there might be a market for it in certain communities. So, and I bet you there's not very many people selling their marathon chonies.
We're gonna have to Google that and see what's up.
So if you're interested in that, definitely DM me.
Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Chisme de la Semana. Kristen, what do you have for us today?
Well, this is more crazy comic book industry chisme. It's the continuation of the downfall of what used to be the king of comic book distributors. And of course, we're talking about Diamond. They were sold a couple months ago to Alliance and Universal. No. Yeah. I don't know. A whole bunch of drama. They were sold and then they took back the sale and then they sold it to someone else. And then those people started kind of chopping off all the excess comic book portions of the business. And so the retailers are like, what's going on? And most publishers jumped ship long time ago, and one of the ones that was hanging on was Dynamite. And they had an exclusivity contract with Diamond, and finally this last week they announced that they are no longer with Diamond and they are moving to Lunar. And you can't I think last week's FOC was the last FOC through Diamond. But I don't know. There was a bunch of emails going, or not emails, but posts going through, whatever, where retailers were confused of what to do. But I really think that they were saying that don't order period anymore from them, that from now on just go to Lunar. So Diamond has lost basically all of their contracts with publishers, and it really looks like they're not going to really have any books to distribute at all. But it looks like also that was their point, that was their plan. So I mean, for a company that's actually called Diamond Comics, it's kind of sad, and it's kind of sad to see how this company that used to literally have a monopoly is just crumbling, and really causing a lot of havoc in the industry. So if you are a fan of a Dynamite title, make sure that your retailer knows that they have to start ordering it through Lunar. And Lunar, though, one of the interesting things, Lunar is not about the million covers the way that Diamond was. And Dynamite has like variant covers, and variant covers are generally named letters of the alphabet. So like you have your main cover, then you have variant A, variant B, variant C. I'm not lying when I tell you that Dynamite had variants that went into double letters. So A through double J, double K, double L. Like that's how many freaking variant covers they had, and Lunar's not about it. So I don't know what's going to happen with because that kind of was like their business model of comics. So I don't know how Lunar's going to handle it, or if they're going to continue to offer that many covers.
Wow, I wonder what their printing fee was like with all the different variant covers.
It's crazy. Who knows? I want to know who the heck are ordering all those covers, because we surely didn't have anybody who ordered all those variants. Maybe a couple here and there, but
Few people I remember, but they were like the older guys.
yeah. Who wanted the booby covers?
Yep.
Crazy. That's some crazy cheese, man. And the thing is that it's an ongoing saga of the demise of.
Yes. Very sad.
All right, guys, now it's time for On My Radar. Kristen, what is on your radar?
So on my radar this week is a comic called Look Into My Eyes. And it really caught my attention because it's kind of like a multimedia kind of concept going on. So the book is published by Mad Cave Studios, and it's going to be released July 23rd. The FOC is June 30th. So if it's something you want to add, make sure you tell your retailer, because FOC hasn't come through yet. But Look Into My Eyes, in the first issue, readers are introduced to Cravenwood, a seemingly quiet town hiding dark secrets. When Susie, a high school student, mysteriously vanishes, conspiracy-obsessed teen RJ Nguyen is determined to uncover the truth. But things in Cravenwood are far from normal. As RJ digs into Susie's disappearance, she stumbles upon the unsettling rise of Knock Knock, a wildly popular social app that seems to be taking over the town. Oh, and did we mention the sudden appearance of grotesque, many-eyed monsters lurking in the shadows? Now, this is the part of the book, all that other stuff already intrigues me, but this is the part of the book that really, really got me interested. There's going to be QR codes embedded throughout the issues, and you can dive deeper into Cravenwood's eerie lore by stalking the characters' social media and exploring secret documents and hidden clues. So that really interested me and excited me, and it's kind of a interactive comic. So if you're interested in that kind of thing as well, Look Into My Eyes #1 is going to be out on July 23rd, and it's written by Rubin Kubile. I don't know where he's from, so I don't know how to pronounce the last word. Cubilis, Cubilis. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I try to look up. There's not very much information about him. I try to look up like where he is from originally, but I couldn't really find much information. He has done a couple of other small independent books, but he is the writer and the artist on this book. And then Francesco Segala is the colorist, and El Torres is the letterer.
Wow. I wonder if they hired an extra person to handle the social media platforms.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Amazing though. You know, it reminds me of those books where, you know, you can you could choose
your own adventure.
Yes. Oh my God. And oh, that's so cool. And I wonder if you have to download a specific app to look at the social media and other documents.
I don't think so. It's just the QR code. So the QR code is going to take you to a website probably.
Okay. Wow. That sounds pretty cool though. I'm excited. This is like a the storytelling where they the characters in the story have social media. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my God. This is thinking outside the box. I'm super excited.
The new way of storytelling.
Yeah.
I know. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm shocked nobody else has thought of this, or have they? And I just never heard of it.
But I don't know.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
It kind of reminds me of the TTYL series way back in the day when there were books written in like chat format.
What?
Not even chat, in like text messages, and they were all like shorthand.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And so they were like, so a lot of like middle school, high school kids like really liked them, but parents, when they would open them, they'd be like, what the?
Oh, yeah, they couldn't read it.
Yeah, they couldn't read it.
Like when your kids or cousins speak pig Latin and you're like, I don't know what they're saying, but I think they're talking about me. All right, guys, it's now time for La Hora de la Cervecita. And today we are drinking the last of the 4-packs from SoCal Cerveceros. We love LA. And this time we are drinking the Hazy Pale Ale. It is 5.5.
Ooh, a hazy pale ale. I've had hazy. Oh, India pale ales, but not just pale ales. So this will be my first.
And remember, guys, this is an effort, a collaboration that brings breweries and beer lovers together to raise funds and coordinate support for those impacted by the LA wildfires. You can look on Instagram at We Love LA Beer, or go on welovelabeer.com. Donate today. There is a QR code you can scan and donate towards the wildfires. So yes, this is the SoCal Cerveceros one. And we're very excited because they did the 4-pack that was all different types of beers in their 4-pack. And here we go, guys.
Okay.
We go.
Our neighborhood kitty is here at the door meowing, wanting to be like, sorry, kitty, I'm busy.
Cool.
Tell me why I heard the cat and I thought it was my roommate's cat. Underneath me. All right. Ooh, really fizzy.
All of these Cervecero beers have all fizzed up and gone all over the place.
Yes, that's all over me, but that's okay.
The kitty really wants to come in.
Ooh.
Who's on your cup?
I borrowed this from my brother. Let me check. This is the guy from Dragon Ball Z, the old guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, and he's on a
on a turtle. Okay.
And he has a hop as a coat.
Oh, cute fruit.
Oh, no.
Lupulo.
There goes Eddie to go feed the kitty. Yeah, that's not ours.
Wow, that's
The cat
surprising.
string again. If I pour it in this glass, is that like an offense?
I don't think so.
No?
He said beer glasses that were shaped that way.
I do too.
It's just a glass.
But it's
shaped like a beer can.
See?
Oh, that was a bad pour. Look at this.
Look at all that head. That's what she said. Dirty old man jugs. So what do you guys think?
That is actually like pretty hazy for.
I've been sharing the information about the types of beer that we've been drinking. So let's see. So yeah. Hazy Pale Ale is a style of pale ale that is intentionally cloudy or hazy in appearance with typical features. Cloudy or murky, ranging from straw to golden. Strong hop aroma, often citrusy, tropical, or stone fruit. Juicy, fruity, with low bitterness compared to West Coast pale ales. Smooth, soft mouthfeel, slightly creamy. And so how these different from regular pale ales, these come from suspended proteins, yeast, and hop particles that don't get filtered out. So a regular pale ale, they filter all that stuff out. These tend to be juicier and less bitter, and there's a New England style influence. So definitely. Look, I have a kitty too. Eddie let her in. Okay, let's say hi. She's a little, just got scared. She's a little finicky. She doesn't like to be held. When you pick her up, she growls at you.
So, I can hear her purr.
Yeah, kitty. This is Callie. Callie. Yeah, she's a neighborhood cat.
Look at her. She's having a good time.
And we feed her tuna and salmon. She actually ate some carnitas the other day too.
Oh, dang. No wonder she keeps coming back. She's all like, they give me the good food.
And she does have a little panza. She's a little gordita.
She's a torta.
She's a torta.
Oh. You're absolutely right. This does have like a creamy kind of tongue coat. And I do feel like there's a lot of fruit, but I'm not sure what type of fruit.
Yeah.
But definitely some citrus there. This one, it almost reminds me like, do you remember those ice creams those ice creams that inside they had the cream?
50-50 bar.
Is that what they were called? Anyway, that's what it reminds me of, 50-50 bar. Like the tangerine one or something.
So, very similar to the beer that we had last week. It doesn't have a lot of flavor to me. Like, I feel just like last week, I said the flavor wants to be there and it's like trying to fight its way through, and then it just fizzles out. It loses its oomph. Again, I've never had a hazy pale ale. I've had hazy IPAs, which are way more hoppier, way more juicier. But this one for me is a little bit flat as far as not fizzy flat, but just like taste flavor flat. It's not very there's nothing very like interesting about it to me.
Well, I found it to be very refreshing, and I do like the like I said, that ice cream bar feel, like at the end of it, like the back taste of it. It's sort of like a creamy, kind of citrusy over it. I do not smell anything though. Honestly, I don't get a specific hint of anything when I
actually smell pineapple.
Maybe we got different.
It smells citrusy to me, but as I keep drinking, I don't know about that no bitterness, because as I keep drinking it, the bitterness builds up. And I'm just all like,
And
I thought it was okay with, but
I do kind of taste some pineapple too. Very, very subtle in there. I had to really look for it. Yeah, I taste pineapple. Very citrusy. I taste like the rind of an orange or lemon, like that rind flavor. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do get that. Like the tongue is coated for me with that like lollipop kind of like the creamy kind of bittery, but then you're right, you get the rind right in the middle of your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, but I'm enjoying it. Although I still am not really smelling anything. Yeah, nothing is really hitting me at all with the as far as the smell goes. But otherwise, I think it's really refreshing. It's really when I initially had a drink, it was very kind of like summery, kind of crisp, and very very fresh. That's what I'm getting from it. Yes, definitely getting that rind kind of in the back along with the coated cream. That's what I'm getting. I enjoy it definitely. What do you guys think as far as what is a rating scale, Kristen?
So we have a 5-point rating scale where 1 out of 5 is very unsatisfied. 2 out of 5 is just regularly unsatisfied. A 3 out of 5 is neutral. A 4 out of 5 is satisfied. And a 5 out of 5 is very satisfied. So I'll go ahead and get started. And I am going to give this another 3 out of 5 neutral for me. It was not very, like, like I said, nothing stood out about it very much. I did find some pineapple flavor and that rind, citrus rind kind of flavor, but it wasn't anything that I was too interested or excited to taste. And we get that really, I think I agree too with Jen. There was a little bit of a bitterness at the end of it, and so I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5 neutral.
Sarah, and I'm going to give it a satisfied. I really enjoyed the points that I made about it, the coating with that kind of like the creamy slash kind of tangerine kind of lollipop from my past kind of thing. But I do enjoy the rind sensation. I'm big on citrus, and I guess I do get a hint of pineapple. Not really sure, but it's definitely crisp. It's definitely fresh, and it's definitely definitely most definitely summer vibes for sure. What about you, Jen?
I am gonna give it a 2 out of 5 because I I'm not really enjoying that bittery taste, and it is just slightly too hoppy for me. So because I think that is kind of like it again. It's one of those things where initially you don't taste it, but as I kept drinking it, it became more and more noticeable. And I think just because I'm so particular about hops and how they taste and how they're complemented, I am not really enjoying it. So, not exactly a flaccid because once again, it's beer. Congratulations, you did beer.
You did beer.
You did beer, yeah. Good for you. But it's just not my beer. So 2 out of 5.
And that has been our beer review. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our book review. What are we reviewing today?
So today we are reviewing Nubia, a real one, by McKinney and Robyn Smith.
You want to know something funny before we get into the back of it? I was looking at the back of this book thinking that these were cheerleader like horns. And I'm like, why are those? I kept waiting for some cheerleader action in the book. And then when they finally were given to her, I'm like, oh, those are her gauntlet.
So I'm going to read the little synopsis that they have back here, which is, can you be a hero if society doesn't see you as a person? Nubia has always been a little bit different. As a baby, she showcased Amazonian strength by pushing over a tree to rescue her neighbor's cat. But despite Nubia's similar abilities, the world has no problem telling her that she's no Wonder Woman. And even if she were, they wouldn't want her. Every time she comes to the rescue, she's reminded of how people see her, as a threat. Her moms do their best to keep her safe, but Nubia can't deny the fire within her, even if she's a little awkward about it sometimes, even if it means people assume the worst. When Nubia's best friend, Keisha, is threatened by a boy who thinks he owns the town, Nubia will risk it all, her safety, her home, and her crush on that cute kid in the English class, to become the hero society tells her she isn't. From the witty and powerful voice behind A Blade So Black, L.L. McKinney, and with endearing and expressive art by Robyn Smith, comes a vital story for today about equality, identity, and kicking it with your squad. And then it has an introduction by Danielle Clayton, the New York Times bestselling author of the Bell series and the COO of the nonprofit organization We Need Diverse Books. So this is a DC novel. I guess they're no longer calling it DC Inc. Or
Yeah.
it's just DC graphic novels for young adults. Because I would have said that this was a DC Inc. brand, which is, and that was like, we reviewed the Jessica Green Lantern one, the Beast Boy Loves Raven, and I don't think we've done Shadow of the Bat, but they did publish Shadow of the Bat under that line.
Right. And then also the Lois Lane one.
Yeah, the Lois Lane one. There was a Starfire one too. So I'm guessing they're just calling it DC graphic novels for YA or DC YA graphic novels. Or maybe DC Inc. is still going on. I don't know, but I would think that this is under it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know much about Nubia. I don't know if she is a recent introduction to like the Wonder Woman like mythos. I don't think she is.
Was definitely within the last 5 years from my memory. How do I get out of here? Let's see. When was Nubia introduced?
While you look that up, I have a interesting story. You know, when we're looking for books to review and stuff like that, I came across this book years ago and I bought it, I believe, on Amazon to share it with you guys to read it. And for some reason, I just forgot all about it. But when I started reading the beginning, I'm like, I've read this before. It's because I got it on Amazon.
Oh.
But this has been on my radar for us to review years ago. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's been more than 2 years when I bought it. So that was really interesting to me that I had wanted to review this book before.
This came out in, let's see, 2021. And Nubia first appeared in 1973 in Wonder Woman number 204.
Yeah.
And then, but she was reintroduced recently. And it was her own, she got her own series in 2021 as well. Nubia and the Amazons, was, because, you know, if I remember correctly, someone killed Hippolyta. I never Hippolyta. I never know how to pronounce the Greek names. Are they Greek or Roman? Greek. And Hippolyta, someone kills her, and some politics happen, and Nubia takes over, if I remember correctly, in the canon of what was going on in the comics. So that was in 2021. So, and I know that there was a lot of, really lot of interest, given that, we were learning that there were other like Wonder Women. Like, so we uh introduced to Nubia. We were introduced to who was the Brazilian one? Was she Brazilian? She was the Latino one. I can't remember her name, but so we were introduced to multiple different factions of Amazons.
Interesting.
Do we remember?
I don't
remember her name.
The Brazilian, yeah.
But anyway, yes, 2021. So she's been out fairly recent as far as being back into the storytelling of Wonder Woman and Amazonian lore.
Right, right. Yes, so Nubia is being raised by her two mothers. And then we learn throughout the story about one of the secrets of one of her mothers, which I thought was really a very interesting kind of story arc, which was pretty cool. And then we also learned the origins of Nubia herself, and why she has these superpowers that she doesn't understand. She does know she's adopted, so there's that. But she's trying to maneuver being like a regular kid and trying to not use her powers in front of anybody, especially in this day and age with cell phones and all of that and social media. So she's constantly like, I guess she's constantly on guard. And because of that, she only has a few friends and she moves a lot. And this is, I think, the longest she stayed somewhere and made some friends. And she has a couple of friends who actually have their own little love connection, which is really cute. But I really love the voice that the author gives the characters. There's a slang aspect of the kids and how they talk to each other, which I thought was really, really cool because it really kind of shows you like the kids of today with their social media, and part of their conversations are via text and stuff like that. All right, so this book basically is we get a kind of a history on why Nubia has superpowers, and we know that she's been adopted by two women that are her mothers, and there's this mysterious character called Dee in the background that is consistent in her life, but she's never met Dee, and it sounds really like covert because whenever they have to move, because they have to move frequently just to keep her identity under wraps. Because of course, you know, she's growing up, so she's still a kid trying to handle the fact that she can't be out there showing all her powers to everybody. And so they have to move quite frequently. So Dee is kind of like the person that scrubs the files sort of, and is kind of like really like KGB kind of stuff. But she's never talked to Dee and she's never met Dee. So anyway, in this book, what we really get is a real sense of what it's like to be Black in America, and that's one of the primordial centers of the story. Kind of revolves around her being of color and her mom being of color and queer, and also her friends, that she actually stayed in one place long enough to create friends, but she's still like kind of that friend that hardly goes out and has very strict mothers. So we get a sense because she's actually growing up, becoming a woman, and then also that, you know, your friends just want to hang out and have fun. So you get a lot of that sense where she's trying to find who she is. She has to hide who she is, and she also has a crush on this guy named Oscar. So there's a lot going on in the story, and then there's the mysterious Dee in the background, and then of course. Oh, Laura.
Please, this is a YA book.
Right. So anyway, I thought it was super interesting, especially particularly how they the backdrop is a student or a friend of theirs got shot after the police tried to arrest him or apprehend him because he fit the description, and he got scared,
Quote unquote.
Scared and ran, and in running, the police, of course, being the police, they shot him and killed him. So primarily there's this whole discovery of herself going on, but also this really strong kind of impact that they're all having because of this wrongful shooting of a police officer that shot a kid. So we have that going on with the story. What did you guys think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was like really like good and refreshing and very, very modern, very like fitting, not only fitting the times, because I also like as like I had the benefit of going to like mostly like magnet or like gifted schools and stuff like that, but I was always very in close proximity to like the non-gifted programs. And a lot of it's funny how language changes but remains the same. So like the book was fully like how like young people talk, and I think it was the writer is a Black woman. Yeah. So of course she's gonna get AAV correct because it's hers. She knows how to conjugate it. Because it's their language. Or I guess I should say their vernacular. So a lot of the language in here it is like you're listening to young Black teens talking. So that was really cool. The messages and everything, and I think the story of Nubia is, yeah, I have said before how like I don't really, not that I don't like reading, but sometimes like I see writing superheroes over like very modern problems as kind of like, it's not that I don't like them, I just think I'm just like, this is all great and fantastic, but it's not real. This one did not have that issue for me. It felt real. It felt like her going through her superhero powers as well as like being a young Black woman in America. It was 100% like I could 100% believe, you know what, there is a young Black superhero like going around just discovering her powers. Like this felt so like, I don't know, there was just something about it that did not annoy me at all about like being like, well, yeah, it would be great like if like they could have these powers or whatever. No, this felt like really good and really refreshing, and I wasn't annoyed by any of it. So like 10 out of 10.
When you can manage to not annoy Jen, you get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really enjoy these YA books that DC puts out because it really delves into the teenage angst very realistically, teenage issues, exactly like Jen said, teenage vernacular, and it really is the YA line really has, I think, focused on dealing with real world issues particular to the culture and ethnicity of that particular character. So, for example, Jessica Cruz's book that we read was amazing, talked a lot about deportation and immigration and the way that when that happens to a family member, that it affects the people left behind. And that book was just like so amazing and very, very emotional to read. And this particular one, I felt the same way. I felt very engrossed into the culture of students and also Black students and Black community dealing with another one of their youth being shot and killed. And I really, the quote on the back of the book, the "Can you be a hero if society doesn't see you as a person?" is so profound to me because she is in our world. She's not on what's their island that they done?
Themyscira.
Themyscira, yeah. She's not there where everything is hunky-dory and amazing and perfect. She's here where we have racism And they did not freaking mince words. There was a time in there where one of the other students called her a freaking monkey. And my jaw actually dropped when I read that. And it actually like hurt to read that. And I was like, that is the lesser of things that I'm sure that Black students, Black women get called. And so
For me, it was the low hanging fruit reference. I was like, this motherfucker.
because she was fat.
Yeah.
So I really think that DC does a really great job on that. This particular book also hit me because of what's going on also here currently in our community with the protests and the riots. And we see at the protests that they're having against the police for this nonsensical shooting, that there are agitators in the group. And there's this one character, what was his name? His starts with a W. I can't remember what his name was, but Wayland, yes. So Wayland is just a troublemaker, and that's even too kind of a word for him. He is a misogynist. He is an abuser. He is a potential rapist. And
a white man.
Yes, he's a white man.
And it comes from old money, which makes it a ton worse because he gets
because they refer to the fact that no one wants to say anything because his family has money and they will just cover it up and then make their lives miserable.
Right.
So and he also is to blame for turning a peaceful protest into a riot, and then tries to blame it on Nubia. And it's so satisfying when Nubia finally does find her voice and stand up for herself against him. The first time in defense of her best friend, and then another time in the book just because I did not see his story arc coming, honestly. I did not see that he was going to turn into even worse than what we had already seen in the
and also not surprising, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. So there's no saving his ass now.
Yeah.
Although TBH, after we've seen like the court cases of so many well,
Yes.
not to spoil it, but after we've seen so many court cases, maybe he might have been able to get off on the like.
Well, he definitely would not have been shot in the back like the Black student was.
Yeah.
So on multiple different levels, it was so profound to me. Also, we chose this book because it's still June. It's still Pride Month. The creators are LGBTQ. Nubia is also queer. And then there was also a trans character in the book. So I just really enjoyed it from beginning to end. I also don't know a lot about Nubia. I read a couple of her books and know very little about her origin and all of that. But again, I think we got just enough of the origin and story in this book to kind of, satisfy our questions. But the reality is that wasn't the important part in this story. And I really do enjoy the stories of teen superheroes dealing with being a teenager and trying to balance that with being a superhero. I liked it when they did it with Miles, with Kamala, with when we read the Jessica Cruz story, and all the teen heroes in either of the universes all have to deal with this. And I think it's very interesting. It's an interesting subject for me to read about. And I think they did just a really great job in this book dealing with that, and also dealing with all of these major issues that there's a lot of things that they stuck into this book, but it didn't seem bogged down by any of it. It all just really flowed very well.
Oh, absolutely. I greatly enjoyed this book. It was just really amazing. I totally just love the artwork as well. There's a lot of like dark kind of pinks and purples and blues and stuff like that at different scenes, but you also get like brighter tones as well. And I just thought that that was just like really, really well done. I really love when there's for instance, there's kind of like a surprise and the look on the characters' faces as they're getting the news, it was just like perfect. I just thought kind of like I don't know, the artwork was just really special to me. I really enjoyed it. Like this look on her face. I was like, this is kind of really awesome. I thought it was really well done. It was really well paired with the artwork. I just really love this book. And to have that message for younger readers about sticking together and also fighting for what you believe in and not being silent when things are happening to your community and to you as a people, as young people, you know, young people of color and coming together as a community and voicing your opinions and trying to do a peaceful demonstration. I thought that was really a really great message for the kids and for us too in the situations that we're living in right now. So I really, really love that. It was just a good also the conversations the moms had with Nubia as far as you have to be extra careful because of who we are, not because she has superpowers but because she's a woman and she is of color and what's happening in the community with the cops being actually being an alert because one of their own killed a teenager. So there's all that tension kind of building in the background. And I thought the author did a really great job of just developing that storyline, which I found like so profound, especially of the kind of off us participating in a peaceful process of no kings, but also Juneteenth having just happened a few days ago. So like you get like all that stuff just kind of coming together and just really being part of the story that we're actually reading for the podcast. So I thought that was like really timely.
Did you see? There's a little Easter egg in here that I saw. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then I wanted to go back to see if there was others. But I didn't, and I don't know if there are, but I can't find the front of their high school. They kept referring to Carter High School, but it didn't really mean anything to me until I saw the front of the school. And Nubia, went to L. Carter High School. Do you guys know why that is of any relevance?
No, but it sounds important.
Linda Carter.
Oh, shit. Oh, nice Easter egg.
Yes. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. I can't find the page where you see the front of the school, but I thought that was super cool. So yes, for those of you who may not know, Linda Carter was the actress who played Wonder Woman in the series. Was it the 1970s Wonder Woman?
Yeah, the
series?
70s Wonder Woman.
And she's Latina.
Grandmother was Mexican. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are we ready to rate the book? Did you guys have anything else you guys want to add? I definitely I would love to share the story. It's just really timely for these times. And I feel like it was written in 2011?
2021.
2021. Yeah. But it really reflects what's going on right now. So I think if you guys are out there and like I said before, I purchased this on Amazon and totally forgot about it. And now I realize that it really kind of works into what we're living in right now. But what is our rating scale, Kristen?
So we have a rating scale of 1 to 3 conchas, where 3 conchas is the most conchas that Jen's mom ever let her eat in one sitting. So that was the best. But if a book is off our rating scale, so amazing that it's better than 3 conchas, then we give it our own individualized rate. So I'll go ahead and get started, and I am going to give it 3 big ol' helpings of masuka. Every time they said masuka in there, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want masuka." And a side of concha, of course. I'm sure it would be good. But yes, it was amazing. The whole panaderia. It was a book that I honestly didn't really think I was going to be too interested in because I didn't know much about Nubia and wasn't really too excited to learn anything about her, to be honest. But the book, I mean, being serious, because I don't know. Any of the Wonder Woman books, you all know, like, I didn't become a Wonder Woman fan till we read George Perez, and I haven't really read much since then that I enjoyed that much, although I am interested in reading Tom King's because I'm sure that he um did some interesting things, but I was completely proven wrong, and actually makes me want to read more about Nubia and some of her ongoing stories that are in the regular canon of the character. So yes, 3 big helpings of masuka and the whole panaderia.
Well, this is Sarah, and I'm also going to do the same rating, Tres Masucas and the whole panaderia. I really loved it. I got I love that Oscar is also Latino. And we get that from a little bit of the language that he uses while in the book. So I thought that was really cool. Didn't say where he was from or anything. They just gave us just enough to know that he was Latino, and I really, really enjoyed that as well. But yes, that is my rating score. I absolutely loved it, and I would definitely love to share this book with everybody. What about you, Jen?
I am going to reiterate what you guys said. All the masuka, tres conchas, the entire panaderia, all the champurrado. It was a great read. I really enjoyed it.
And that was our book review. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for En la Librería. Jen, what do you have for us today?
So today I have The Traitor and the Wretch, an illustrated novel. A dark fantasy with queer romance that asks, in a world of heroes and prophecy, can a couple of henchmen get a happy ending? So this is being done by Bone Dust Press. Bone Dust Press is an indie publisher dedicated to putting the best possible illustrated novels and novellas. They have had other projects before, and I'm gonna just read as usual from the campaign page that they have right here. The Traitor and the Wretch is a dark fantasy adventure with a surprisingly tender romance between 2 very unlikely allies. Written by Jasmine Walls, illustrated by Rowan McCall, with a cover by Amy Phillips. In a world of heroic prophecies and terrifying gods, can a couple of 2-bit henchmen lie, steal, and kill their way to a happy ending? Nell was just another nameless cultist trapped under the thrall of the Great One, bringer of chaos and fully expected to die on the battlefield. Much to his surprise, he's still alive, but not for long unless he can escape before his distinctive, chaos-tainted looks get him captured and killed. Percy was on the former right-hand man of the prophesized hero. Disillusioned and bitter, he turned traitor during the great battle against the risen chaos god in an attempt to prove his hero false. Instead, he lost his hand and became the most wanted man in the kingdom. These 2 unlikely allies must work together to survive pitch-black tunnels full of mutated creatures, angry mobs, old enemies, and their own haunted pasts. They'll find unexpected strength in each other and the possibility for more, if they don't end up dying before they can make it out of the kingdom. They weren't meant for a happy ending, but rules are for good guys, and they'll do whatever it takes to change their fate. The Traitor and the Wretch is an illustrated novel set for release in October 2025. The book will feature 15 illustrations by the amazing Rowan McCall, and then they have a sneak peek at one of the illustrations, which looks amazing, by the way.
Nice.
The book is fully completed at 375 pages with finished illustrations, and it's ready to print. All they need is is to raise the funds for the initial print run. And then let's see, is we support human artists and writers and will never publish books or artworks created using generative AI. And this is part of the Bone Dust Press's like goals and stuff like here. So we get a little bit more about Jasmine, the writer, Rowan, the illustrator, and Amy, the cover artist, as well as Charlie Knight, their copy editor. Nice. And then they break down into rewards. So what their goal right now is $10,000. They are currently at $5,444. Yeah, no, $5,440 with 239 backers and 18 days to go. You can always make a pledge without expecting a reward, but the base pledge starts at $10 for the ebook. If you want the paperback book, that is $20. And if you want the paperback and ebook bundle, that's $25. And then the next pledge up is ebook and editorial feedback. So a digital copy of The Trader and The Wretch, as well as a 1-hour chat with Jasmine, a professional editor, to get feedback on a backer's book pitch for or short project. So that's really cool. If you
That
leave
is
one
cool.
website.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good price. An hour chat with a professional editor, like you can make a good time on that. And then it keeps going on up from there. There is a patron of the arts tier, which is at $1,000. And you basically get the ebook, the physical paperback, a 1-hour editorial feedback session on the Becker's Picture Show project, a personal thank you on the acknowledgement page of the book, and a hand-knitted sweater custom made for the backer's measurement.
Wow.
Yeah, a hand-knitted one? That's pretty good.
That's crazy.
So definitely check it out. The artwork looks amazing. I love the story premise. I mean, who doesn't love? Like, I know it's like a trope and it's a bad trope, but also it's a trope that I love. I love my evil game because I don't know, it just be that way. So definitely check it out. It's The Trader and The Wretch on Kickstarter.
All right, guys, now it's time for Juntos y Fuertes. Kristen, what do you have for us today?
So because it is Pride Month still, and I know I've shared this before, I am going to share it again because, we have 254 episodes. We've been doing this since 2016. And so it's worth it for me to share again to educate new listeners all about the Queer Comics database. So there is a Queer Comics database online that you can access by going to www.queercomicsdatabase.com. And it is basically just a website that was put together by Aiden Kwan, who is a Bay Area based queer trans librarian and a former comic book retailer. And so they got together with La Button and put together this project. It was a capstone project for the University of Washington's iSchool program. And they also got support from Geeks Out. OUT is all capitalized. And La Button is a queer geek and library person originally from Seattle. He loves Batwoman, Oh Human Star, DC Comics Bombshells, and Teen Dog. So you can just go to Queer Comics Database, which is just this project that these two people who love comics and are into the helping facilitate getting more queer comics out to the community and letting them know that they exist. And it's just one after another of just recommendations and books that are in existence that have LGBTQ themes. And so I'm looking at the homepage and there's just so many on here that I've never even seen or heard about, obviously, because my shop has been closed for so long now, but books that just look so cool and interesting and that I would love to marry. I would love to read. The name of this book is called Hey Mary, and I was looking at it and I said I'd love to marry him, but that I'd love to read. So like this one here, it's called I Hated You in High School. And it's a struggling 20-something. Tessa has a dead-end job as a barista and the dream of a creative career that never quite seems to take off. When the coffee shop where she works goes out of business, she's able to visit her parents for the first time in years. And they have rented out the basement apartment to her high school nemesis. Doesn't that sound actually like a cool story?
No.
Well, the high school nemesis is different from high school bully.
Maybe. Could be the same.
Not for me.
I had a high school bully, but I also had a high school nemesis. But
Yeah.
we got along fine. But we were always trying to like outdo each other academically.
Okay.
So they can be different things.
Yeah. So, if you are jonesing for a good queer comic and you don't know where to begin, they have books on here from all different age ranges, YA, adult. They have manga. So check out Queer Comics Database for some recommendations.
Well, that sounds cool. But yes, I would read that one. That piece, my arch nemesis from high school. Whoa, that's like some Three's Company shit right there.
That's
All right, guys, it's now time for saludos, and saludos goes out today. I actually had to work today, and then after work, I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. Let me support local people and try to find some food at any Juneteenth celebration. Right? They're going on all over the place. So I Googled and I found one like down the street from my house in Compton, and I go there and it's taking place at Tucker Park in Compton. And by God, I get there and I'm trying to find vendors to buy food from, but no, they gave me a wristband and they fed me for free. I was shocked. Had some chicken, had some hot links, potato salad without the raisins, and delicious. Let me tell you, it was great with some lemonade. It was wonderful. And that particular Juneteenth celebration was put forward by the Department of Recreation in conjunction with Sunny Cove Book Club. And Sunny Cove is the area around where the park is. And it's a neighborhood in Compton. But Sunny Cove has a book club. And in that park, there's a little room that they have like the book nook, where you can check out a book, read it at your own leisure. There is no late fees or anything, but also you can donate books as well. And if you donate books and you give them your information, your name gets put on a little plaque on the book nook.
Oh,
and
that's cute.
Like you. But I thought that was so wonderful. It was the Juneteenth Freedom Day celebration at Tucker Park by the Department of Recreation and the Sunny Cove Book Club. And you can follow them on Facebook, Sunny Cove. It's Sunny, SUNNY, Cove, COVE, Block Club. It's a block club, book club as well. So it's kind of like the same organization by the same people. It's really just quite awesome. And I just wanted to shout them out and say saludos because they fed me. They didn't know me. They welcomed me. They're like, how did you hear about this? And they were just really great people. They had face painting. They had a DJ. They had snow cones. It was just really great. And they had like a step club come and perform. And then the Dollar Hide Steppers, which were a group of people that I guess practice stepping to music. So it's sort of like line dancing, but not really. It was really cool. It was just great. I was like, I recorded.
I think if any stepper ever heard you compare to line dancing, they'd be like, "You're never getting potato salad again, lady."
No, well, there were two different groups. One of them was young girls that were like the stomping step, like the stomp hard, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But then they had these steppers that were more like dancing to the steps.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the confusion. But Sunny Cove Block Club is a community of neighbors organized to achieve shared goals for the betterment of their neighborhood. Meets monthly at Dr. Walter Tucker Park in Compton. So give them a follow. And if you guys are inclined, I'm looking at you guys, you're independent creators out there of comics. If you want to donate maybe your comic book, you can do that. Make sure you put your information into the donation, because that's way you get your name on the little plaque right there, and then it'd be good exposure, I think. But yes, shout out to them, saludos, because I had a great time. I had come from work, I was hungry, and it was just such a welcoming, beautiful environment, and I was out there with the community, and it just felt really great. So I just want to thank them for that.
Nice.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. Where can they find us?
You can find us at comadresecomics.com, where you can find links to all of our social media and some older videos. You can obviously watch us on YouTube if you're not watching us and just listening to us. We do have a YouTube channel, Comadres y Comics Podcast. And then you can email us at comadresycomics@gmail.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Also, remember, guys, mark and remember, you guys can leave us a message on Spotify.
And somebody did it. I don't know if it was going to find.
Wait, what?
But we got a message. I think maybe it was a YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
So I take it back. But someone just did. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I saw it in our email.
Thank you.
Interacting. I feel so special when people interact with us on our social media platforms. But also remember, you can definitely leave us a message on Spotify. But also YouTube. I'm going to check it out and see, and maybe, I don't know, share it on our next episode. But yes, if you interact with us, I'm more than happy to share it on our saludos or just in our episode altogether. It would mean a lot to me. Seriously. Anyway, that has been our end of this episode, and thank you so much for spending this time, letting us spend your time with us. Thank you so much. We're here for you. We are your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Bye, guys.
Bye.